Welcome back, everybody. We're back for another Azure Striker Gunvolt run, this time with Tempest Mask and maybe a couple more familiar voices here for commentary. Without any further ado, take it away.
Hello, friends and fellow gamers. My name is TempestMask1000, and it's always great to be back here for Game Over Cancer. This time, I'm bringing a bit more of a recent project of mine, a recent commitment of the Gunvolt series, because I just knew this was a game I've always wanted to run for the longest time, and let's just say it's been a fun ride so far. So let's see if we can keep that hype going. And yeah, as our wonderful host had just mentioned, I am not alone. Joining me straight from our previous Gunvolt 3 run, Benha and Mike, reintroduce yourselves.
What's a Gunvolt?
That's the best way to introduce ourselves.
Hello, Mike Kenyon. I talk about games. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Mike. I like to play games.
I love games. We all love gaming.
Right now we're gonna play the other game. Right now the dog is a human, so I don't know what happened there.
It's all
yeah, that's right.
It's all where it started. Yeah, it's all where it started.
Yeah, this is the prequel from before he was a dog.
Dogvolt. All right. So this is going to be the new game any percent category, and time will begin once I've confirmed the file. So let's just jump right into it and let's have some fun with it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, strike.
Let's go.
All right, so for those coming into Gunvolt 3 into here, GV's gameplay is a lot more laid back, but it still has the same foundation work as what you might have seen previously, albeit you'll see the air jumping and air dashing that Benha had before, just a little bit later and under different circumstances. Other than that, the circumstances of the basic gameplay are I tag things, and then I zap them with my lightning. In this game, Gunvolt does have an energy field to try and keep you from being too overpowered, and if that semicircle hits rock bottom, I will undergo a cooldown state, which I do want to try and avoid as much as I can. Now, one of the perks of the any percent category is I have access to Pervasion, and so you'll see me bum rush through a lot of things to just ignore having to worry about taking damage and just going through the level, no problem. But I'll just go ahead and pass it on over to Mike, so go right ahead.
Well, I suppose I'll explain what Pervasion is. Pervasion is a mechanic that was introduced in this game, where if Gunvolt is not currently using his lightning powers, instead of taking damage when he gets hit, he will instead lose some of his electric power from that blue gauge, and so if you on top of that, as he's just there, he's able to manually recharge that gauge fully by double tapping down. So if you manage your gauge and your actions correctly, you are functionally invincible. So it's which makes the game very accessible for people who are new to action platformers. This is the first game in the Azure Striker Gunvolt series. It is the flagship of Inti Creates after they went independent, following their work on Mega Man 0, ZX, and the later classic Mega Man games. This is the first game in the series that came out in 2014. Gunvolt 3 came out just this year. There's been a lot of time and a lot of iteration on what is the core gameplay loop introduced here. Gunvolt fires lightning rods out of his gun and then uses his electric powers to shock his enemies to death. And so it's a much more all of the elements of those Mega Man action games are there, but the focus is less on reflexive jumping and shooting or fast-paced melee combat, but rather just patiently planting your targets and then dealing damage over time as you avoid the attacks and stay alive. That's the intro stage. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
This is the first Gunvolt game. This is the most accurate version of the game, like a Mega Man Zero mechanics, like the movement, how to play the game. Of course, you still have more things to do, but that's other matter. Right now, Tempest did an anthem manip. You need to talk with Joe one time when you beat the intro stage, and then moving into Merak. The main reason is here you have a way to skip all the first part of the level, but the intended way to do that is wear an item to give you a double jump. the unintended way to do that is using a skill and abusing a glitch to having a double jump. And the manipulate way to do this is talking with Jewel one time and kill.
Oh no!
Of course, this is a skill.
Lumen!
The manip only gives you 60% of doing that. Of course, if you miss one time, you have more percentage to do that in the second try. This is important because with the Anthem strat, you can have a lot of different ability, like an infinite electric bar, you can have infinite jumps, you can always keep tracking your damage, and now it's time. Okay.
Ah, yeah, second time's the charm, as they say.
Yeah, this is a charm, and of course, when the screen freeze, you know the manip works. And this is really important because the manip only works when you're playing this stage first. Mostly, you don't really want to start with this stage. You really want to obtain more weapons and other levels. But yeah, since this is any percent, this is the optimized way to not losing time here. Because if you're not doing that, you're gonna lose around 1 minute.
Yeah, for reasons that will become apparent very, very soon. This stage is, out of all of them, this stage is probably the most likely to kill you. And, on your first playthrough through the game. That water starts rising, you get stuck under there, you can't use your lightning, you drown. So they, by structuring the game this way, you're basically railroaded into experiencing this Anthem mechanic. To be introduced to it, and then from that point onwards, you're encouraged to talk to your to the girl on the menu screen in order to increase the chances of it happening again. And then you have a chance of getting revived by the Vocaloid with J-pop when you die. By the way,
even with the Anthem mode, you can still die.
You can still die, it's just...
You're not like an invincible mode or like a Gunvolt tree using the Anthem. Like you have an infinite life. Right now, you're still an immortal player.
Just there, the siren, the alarm system there, that was a mob room where we would have had to fight a bunch of enemies as they spawned. By destroying the alarm, we just skipped the mob room outright.
I will admit that the Anthem manip failing on me, that's never happened before in a marathon, so you heard it here, folks.
That's the most annoying part, because when you're having a race and you miss the strat, it's not your fault.
It's really not.
Unless my math is...
What?
My math is incorrect.
You did it, yeah. Red.
That's also never happened before to me at a marathon.
That's a glitch.
Did Merrick just despawn?
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Despawn him.
Oh no, that means I lost my Anthem!
The thing is, if you're doing a damage at the same time he's moving, but I mean, when you activate your damage, like the flash fail, you have a certain possibility to despawn him, and he's like in another part of the screen. Just annoying. This is my first time watching that strat.
I've never seen that before in my life.
That's the first time.
All the years I've been playing this game.
Well, I guess so much for a PB, unless I don't know what happens.
And because of that, well, Tempest was forced to restart, and so he lost his superpowered Anthem stage.
Tempest, think about this. If you're doing a PB, in your PB you're gonna have the most difficult glitch possible in this game.
I mean, I guess. Who knows? I don't know. At least I managed to show off something.
You can do it, man.
I know. Oh, shoot, that's wrong. Okay, it's okay.
We definitely don't have DM skips in this game. At least not in a brand new game. So we're just gonna have to suck it up and take it.
Okay.
Wait.
Good old Astrosphere. Here we go.
There we go. All right. Use one of our own DMs. Just
he's gonna do it again.
He did it again.
I think this is not enough. Yeah,
this is not enough. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Every once in a while, there's gonna be a meme run. Every once in a while.
As I pointed out earlier, because of the nature of Prevasion. As long as he doesn't use his electric powers and has electric meter, he is safe from damage. So that you're able to use that to your advantage to avoid deaths in situations where you otherwise absolutely would get hit.
You know what? Let's play with fire. I was going to try and see if I could swap the split on the fly, but I guess that's not going to happen because live split be like that. Yeah, we're going to go into the next stage, which, in Gunvolt 1, you can choose whatever order you want to with the Adepts or the Sumeragi Swordsman. What I'm about to do is a little bit of a risky thing, but honestly, it's not the worst thing to do at the same time. This stage is Elise's, the Stratacombs, and it's not necessarily the level itself that's tricky, but it's the boss. We'll talk about that when we get there, but yeah, for now, let's just discuss what I got. I got the Naga Gun, which means I can now, when I switch into it, I will have up to 5 tags. I can still only get enemies up to 3 times, but this also gives me a charge shot, which can pierce through things, which I will use a little later on. You'll see soon enough, but yeah, that's one of the things that makes Gunvolt 1 and 2 a little different in Gunvolt 3 as well, because in Gunvolt 3, GV only has his default Cerberus firearm with up to 3 tags, so there's a little more, I guess you could say, detail behind his gameplay, and I just got grabbed by the zombie. Oh well. But yeah.
By the way, one important thing is you can't start in any boss state. I mean, if you start with this state, this will be really horrible. This is, I think, the worst stage to start the game, and the reason is the weapon you talked before. Naga is the key to beat this stage. Yeah, you're gonna understand soon. But yeah, the only stage you can't start is this one.
Yeah, no.
The other stage you can play even in Carol if you want, or Viper.
Okay, gotta be a little careful there. Okay, no problem. And
okay,
there we go.
Just to you know, for the confused, you can illuminate the areas by shooting those glowing light enemies. It's just that we're not doing it because it takes too long. And
I mean,
well,
it's not take too long. The movement of that enemy is like an bounce movement, like up down. So if you really want to pass them, you're gonna receive damage because he's gonna try to move down, and you don't have enough carry to pass them.
And like being a speedrun, this is all based on muscle memory anyway. So it is like navigating the pitch black room is just preferable.
Okay, this is the last part of the stage. Right now, we are gonna use a little bit more deprivation, and then we are gonna connect these 3 lights.
I'm gonna charge up.
No,
Oh wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't tag the red light.
Oh shoot, you're right. Ah, my brain farted. Every once in a while.
Yeah, this level expects you to understand color theory.
I mean, hey, it helps that I'm an artist. I just don't forget. I just don't remember everything. That's all it is to it.
There's Elise. She seems friendly.
Okay,
Hope she lives.
right now, this is Elise. This is one of the most annoying bosses when you start learning this game.
So, Elise is not only the boss, she is 2 bosses. And said bosses have different defense and HP values between them. So, and the kicker is that each one is capable of resurrecting the other if you only kill one at a time. So in order to make sure that you kill the boss, you have to kill them both at the same time. And that's tricky to do when you're doing different amounts of damage to them at the same time. So it's you kind of have to manage how much damage you're doing to each one, and sort of kind of eyeball it really.
Also, this is the main reason why you don't really want to start this stage. If you start with Cerberus, you only have one tap.
Oh, didn't think so.
Didn't think so. I know the resurrection.
And now we've got to so Johnny gets a little bit of HP back, but now we have to bring that back down in order to make sure that we get the simultaneous kill.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's possible.
I always hate that move.
More damage.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. All good. That's what I got the estimate for.
Of course,
that's what I got the estimate for.
This DM have 2 pictures.
You're on fire
like
today,
the version and the aggressive one. So that's really cool at that time.
This time.
There we go. Third time's a charm.
Indeed, as they say.
So,
Oh, well, this has certainly been an interesting meme for sure.
Yeah. For those of you that came from Gunvolt 3, Gunvolt kills a lot of people in this game.
Yeah, Gunvolt 3 is a lot more tamer in
in
comparison.
in this game, it's like, okay, we're a Giga Chat. I have a gun. I know what to do. And in
I
Gunvolt
still
3,
got
it's
an S
like,
rank.
okay, we're gonna kill you. And Kieran's like, no, he's my friend.
How did that still
Come
gold
here,
split?
doggy.
I'm confused by my
That's
splits
the
now.
lore on Gunvolt 1 and Gunvolt 3, and that happened, of course, in Gunvolt 2. It's like, okay, I have a gun, I can do it. And in Gunvolt 3, doggy, come back. Come back. No, kill people is bad. No, come here.
Reject violence,
He's my
return to
friend.
dog.
The gimmick of this
Yeah.
stage is electromagnets, so GV will be taking advantage of his electric powers to float on magnets and also make various machinery move in order to navigate the stage. There's a lot
This
of
is
puzzle-based
the-
platforming in this game.
This stage is the most common of runners that start this one. Like, if you really want to learn in the speedrunning, this is the main stage. This is like the stage are gonna teach you the correct movement of Gunvolt, how to use the damage boosting correctly, because you have a script to do here, and also how to dodge some weird stuff. Carrera having a lot of different bad things, like overheats, magnetic stuff, bad RNG, and sometimes multiple RNGs. So this is a really good way to start learning.
By the way, in case you're wondering what I'm doing there, I'm trying to do a little trick where I can get the pin to slam into the hexapile, that little gate thing, as I'm about to enter the transition, because that's actually something you can do. Projectiles are still persistent within the camera, at least until they hit like a solid thing, whether on screen or off screen.
Yeah, I mean, this is possible because this game have buffer inputs. Like, you can press any input before doing that in any screen, and the game are gonna use it immediately. That's happening in every screen. So, for example, if you are in a mid-boss fight and you're pressing start and, I don't know, keep pressing jump, the first move Gunvolt gonna do when he has a frames to do that is a jump. So in this case, all the time, if you have a hexapile in front of you and a mid door, you can just keep pressing the shoot button and immediately you're gonna receive one shot and, of course, hit the hexapile immediately. This is not most commonly known in 80% because you are not gonna watch your inputs, but if you're playing a speedrun mode, you have an input displayer and that shows you that's possible in the game.
Alright, here comes Carrera. This guy is... in case you've noticed what happened in the Elise fight, they had a Medusa Steer attack, which, if I looked into the direction of their eyes, it forced me to go into cooldown, like, straight up. Carrera has a couple of attacks that do something similar. For instance, I want to avoid those hands, or at least getting grabbed by them at all possible. And then there will be his super attack, which will do that, but that's where I'll put into use the Astrosphere, because in case you haven't noticed, it's not tied into my EP, but rather the little skill cards on the bottom side of the screen, the little lower left gauge. So we'll see how that can especially come into play when we get to there. But right now, though, I'm gonna... no, he's not gonna get back in the middle. Okay, we'll see what happens. Keep in mind that I do not want to get hit by this particular move, so I'm just gonna focus. And you know what? That's exactly why it is instant kill. It is instant kill.
Before, yeah.
But
it's really important to dodge this stack, and of course the way to dodge it is using your Astrosphere. And with Astrosphere, you have an invincibility frames to do that.
I only botched the timing by just a second, so if it was just a little bit earlier, I probably would have had it, but I tried the risk, and you know what? So be it.
As they were explaining, Prevasion is not an option to save you in that instance because it requires your electric powers to do so, and that attack completely disables your electricity powers. So, and that's a mechanic that a few bosses will make use of as we go through the
Only
game.
2 bosses can do that. Like,
Okay,
3
the
bosses.
first is no, I think that was 2.
Well,
Carrera, Stratos.
4 bosses can turn off your electricity though.
Ah, the turn off electricity.
Alright, I'm gonna do it much earlier. Hang
Only
on.
2 bosses can insta kill you.
I think that's good
Sorry,
enough.
that's the way I really want to say. Only
So there's
Kara and Stratos can insta-kill you with the desperation move. The other ones can't. But they're really doing a lot of damage.
So, as there, the Gunvolt's own skills like Astrosphere there make him completely invincible. So it is a good way to wait out some of the time for some of the threats to go off the screen.
Alright, so now that we've gotten 3 of the adepts down, we're going into a mid-stage, and this one's going to be interesting. This is definitely one of the coolest looking stages if you really know how to make it work like butter. This is Sinner's Row, and how it's going to work is the order of which I chose those 3 bosses is actually going to come and play into this boss. Particularly speaking, he is a lot more like a Mega Man character than I am in that he will have access to their moves, so the only issue is that if he decides to use Merrick's, that will be the largest time waste. So there's a little bit of RNG behind it, but of course the reason why we go to Carrera is to also have a chance of better RNG. And Elise isn't bad necessarily, but I will admit I have more recently made my second stop Viper because his move is a lot faster in general, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I mean, Coven, you have the Victor of Sonda here, one of the bosses of this particular game, but of course he's beaten before you have the opportunity to fight against him by Coven. Coven is the Mega Man X player. He's learning skills and other stuff, but the only difference is he has air dashes. But insane air dashes. Right now this is like an X with a big shield, like Protoman, but with copy abilities. And this one, the way to do this fight is which boss you're gonna beat first. So right now you have a 2 good RNGs and 1
Hi Zonda,
inexistent.
bye Zonda.
Yeah, that's
The main
right.
reason is for some reasons Copen doesn't learn anything with Carrera. For some reason he doesn't learn any power of him, so you have 1 RNG done, and you have the fireball, like the good way.
Hold on, he learns Green Snatcher from Carrera.
Yeah, but that's not common like a move or annoying
Well,
part.
no,
I mean, that's the best
He does.
part.
No, actually, he does. No, he really actually does learn it from Carrera. It's sort of.
Yeah.
It still uses his
good.
magnetic Septima, but at the same time, he's kind of made it his own.
The point of it is that we like that skill because it's extremely easy to dodge while also doing a lot of damage to him.
It's also
just,
dangerous on
like
me,
2
though.
jumps and that's it. That's the best way of play against him.
Right.
I mean, that's the best RNG possible to play this fight.
And that's ironically
you
his
have
most broken
Carrera.
power.
I mean, sorry, you have Merak, the worst RNG possible, but of course, since this is RNG, you have the possibility to not encounter him, so it's fine.
forgot
And
to
the
dash.
Bishop 50 RNG is the least. It's not good, but at the same time, it's not bad either. And of course, the other bosses have the same property as Elise. They are not good, but in the same time, they're not bad either.
It is
You have
worth-
only 1 good, 1 bad, and the rest of 50-50.
All right, here we go.
Okay, that's the standard RNG.
And of course, he decides to use
There's
lazy
This is the
laser.
worst RNG.
He's always
Lazy
doing that to me.
laser?
He's made no
Lazy
exceptions
Laser
for
is
Game
the
Over
worst
Cancer.
RNG for 2 reasons. First of all, this is a really long animation, and the second one, for some reason, he got a lot of defense when he's
Well,
doing that.
It's also
this
that you
is
have the only way that you're able to tag him while he's doing lazy laser is by using a piercing shot.
Ooh,
Naga.
that's
There we
not
go.
good.
No, you can still hit him. In his head. His head is still an active hit.
Oh,
so
his head, you're right.
If you're jumping and using your attacks, you have still the possibility to do some
Yeah,
damage.
see, that's the thing with Indie Creates when they're designing things. The hitboxes on their characters are accurate to the pixel on the sprite. So, like the shield is the only part of him that actually protects him. So if you're able to fire a shot over the shield, and it will miss it and it will hit the target behind it. I've always loved that
Yeah,
ability.
the properties work correctly here.
Yeah, that's great.
Much respect to
Um,
Inti. They do a
yeah.
lot of really cool things with their games.
Yeah. And it's also like it's little things like that. Like I mean, like the way that boss works is is narrative, because that guy is following you around and he is picking up the tech from the bosses that you're killing and using that to steal their powers. So in that way, he's getting the powers that he has when you fight him for the first time are based on the bosses that you've already defeated. But when you fight him again later, he'll have all of them.
Oh yeah. Well, now we're moving into the second half of the stages, so things continue as intended. It is worth mentioning that in the little upside-down section of the Sinner's Row stage, I actually do not have any inverted controls, but if I need to recharge, I had to double tap up instead of down. But that's the only thing I need to mention there. Otherwise, you wouldn't normally be able to continue the stages until you beat Sinner's Row, so if you did try to page back, they would actually show locked symbols, just for those casual players that haven't had the chance to check this out yet.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that I'm incredibly grateful that Sinner's Row did not invert your left and right at any point.
I know Ben wanted it to, though.
Yeah, I
Why,
really
Ben?
want that.
Why, Ben?
Because that's more interesting than playing
What's
normal.
wrong with you?
Dude, I really want to enjoy video games. The way, the correct way to enjoy video games is like when they're playing suffering.
I mean...
When the player is suffering, he's really enjoying the game, but because he keeps playing the game, it's like he really wants to beat him. If the game is easier, it's like, okay, this is not kept a lot of value. This is an easy game. But for example, when someone playing Dark Souls and died, I don't know, 100 times in one boss and then beat it, it's like, man, I did it!
True, I do have Dark Souls
That's my
3,
goal.
but like, you might as well be giving me the Armstrong Manifesto of Gunvolt right here.
Like me being repeatedly kicked in the balls. Oh my god, this is awesome!
Something like that.
But anyway, we're moving on to the second half of the stage, and now we've got Bullo Bug Swarm that's going to do a little friendly fire on just about anything it consumes. I can use my flash field to get past it, but obviously I'm just going to try and ignore it as best I can, because we still have Pervasion. It's going to help us no matter what, but, you know.
This is the part you really want to use in your prevention. You have the possibility to skip the bugs. And by the way, if you really want to play the hard mode of this game, you have a hard mode, and that mode is like Rockman 40.
Yeah, compared...
all the time.
We haven't seen a hard mode after this game until Luminous Avenger X2, and both of those...
No. Gunvolt 1 have a hard mode.
No, that's what I mean. We haven't... We had Gunvolt 1 hard mode, but we hadn't seen a hard mode since. Until X2.
I mean, the controversy about that mode is the player based on Gunvolt hates hard mode. In any way, hates this a lot.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, player base of Gunvolt. You are following the wrong company if you don't want hard.
Yeah.
This game is pretty hard. It's meant to be challenging. That's kind of what Zero was all about. I mean, what else can we say?
Like, reminder that these guys also made Mega Man Zero.
Whoop. Okay, so...
And every Mega Man game we have an hard mode, like 01 to 04, CX, CX Advance, Mega Man 9, maybe 10?
Okay, not quite getting that.
However, not quite, but you'll get it.
Yeah. Later for sure. We were totally glossing over the Stratos boss fight. What I was trying to do was a little setup where if I managed to damage him in mid-jump...
Careful!
No, it's fine. I knew I was going to get him even with low health. If I managed to damage him mid-jump with a few tags and then performed the Astrosphere, it would have lowered his health enough to the point that if I just did a few more tags and some flashing, it would have killed him before the DM move couldn't even happen. So that's where there are DM move skips in this game. It's just not often, and you know what? That's just how it is. But once I refight him, it will be a little easier because I'll have a much better gun for the situation at hand. Let's talk about the Kudo system really quick, by the way, because that's, between Gunvolt 3 and this game, that's actually changed. You notice I have a little thing called Fearless. that's one strike, you're out, so to speak. So when you take a single hit, be it damage or Pervasion, your kudos is gone. Compare that to Gunvolt 3, where it's completely on the gutless setting, where you take as many hits as you want, and you don't lose kudos. Although in Gunvolt 3's case, they have the penalty system, so that's a little different there. But then you also have Cautious Mode, which is the 3 strikes you're out system. Just a reminder that it's not like kudos is going to make a huge make-or-break difference in this particular speed run, but if I did reach 1,000, we would be hearing a little more J-pop, as compared to the Anthem theme anyway. There is one possible opportunity where we might. That's the final stage of this run, but I'm not placing any bets. It would be kind of cool, though, Beyond the Blue anyway.
The boss rush you can...
That's true, but I don't usually... I don't usually end up getting that. Alright, let's see if I get it. I think I might have missed a little bit of damage.
The important part about the kudos system
Yeah, not
is,
happening.
You can use a lot of different things about that. The kudos system is have two purposes. The first one is only for music, like if you're on Roy, Joel or Lumen, Lola, and right now the Dijin. You have the possibility to change the music and enjoy more the game, but of course you have mode like the kudos mode. In Gunvolt 1 and in Gunvolt 2, you can use that kudos as a power, so you can one-shot any boss, one-shot anything, or come in and increase power and keep building to skip some parts of the game. And in Gunvolt 2, you can still using it, but with other systems like the Mage Ball. So you can, for example, nerf your talisman, but your sword is crazy good, and for example, your normal slash is hitting like 10, and with the buff system is hitting 100.
Buffs in this game are a pain to
use that system.
Yeah, buffs in this game through gear, it's nice, but it's not optimal at all for speedrunning, because in this game, you had the materials system, you collected money, and you had to use both in order to craft the items. It's a little unfortunate because I like some of the items in this game, but it's just not effective.
To be honest, the materials here is more easier to obtain, but the rewards of using any of them are not good enough. The only game you can only use an item is in Luminous Avenger EX and in Gunvolt 2.
And
but
in
the big
the
problem
X
in Gunvolt 2
games,
is you have a lot of RNG to obtain one item, and you need to play like 30 minutes for one item.
oh god, really?
Really annoying. Big service to it all, it improves a lot Gunvolt 2, but of course, that's the reason I'm not keep playing that game, because I need to play like 30 minutes, discover one item, and then keep playing the game. And of course, if I'm obtain the item and then get bad RNG, I need to do all the process again, and you don't have any way to manipulate that part, so it's really annoying.
Crafting systems in action platformers are the bane of speedrunners. They're just, especially when the materials are random loot drops. They're just, because there's no way to plan for
the
them.
system, but the way to play that item is unfair.
It was a great way to to add replay value and encourage people to repeat playing stages and learn the mechanics of the game. I think it was very effective. Not conducive to speedrunning in the slightest, and that's okay.
Absolutely. But yeah, anyway, red guy.
Captain Unicorn here is Viper. He is one of the most notorious bosses in the game for this attack. It is
bullet hell.
It is suddenly a bullet hell, and the only way to dodge it is to micro walk in between all of the individual fireballs. Micro walking.
If you're not familiar with bullet hell games, you're not gonna know that yourself, and I don't blame you. Honestly, it's the programmer's idea that kind of got a lot of players tripped up.
I think
and of course, this is not like matching micro walking, because if you're matching, you're gonna activate the manual death, so you're gonna miss. So this is a micro walking with delay. So this is more interesting.
I mean, it is interesting to a degree. I will admit it makes him stand out, and I guess it made him popular for a reason. But yeah, it is. I will say this. Wait, oh, no! I don't want to go back there.
I mean, Viper specifically is one of the most
stage in the game.
Character of the game. And of course, the reason is the CD drama. The CD drama helps him a lot. And of course, he loves Lumen like an a maniac. So
Yeah.
the story about him is really, really good.
Yeah, so that's actually a good thing to bring up. One thing I'm not sure if Mike mentioned this during the last run, but the bosses have a lot of themology behind their designs and names. Particularly, these guys are based on the 7 Deadly Sins, so Viper was obviously, you know, Mr. Angry Dude, and Elise was Envy. So there are all different sorts of themes that you can get out of these if you take a close look and realize, oh hey, that makes sense. But then there's also the design themology, as well as the naming conventions, which these guys are named after cars, which also played into the first half of the Gunvolt 3 bosses too. So it's kind of like a return to form that way.
Yeah,
I mean, the first guy you met in Sumeragi was Corvette.
His name is Oh yeah, wait, was it Corvette? Okay, yeah, I thought it was Chevrolet.
Corvette.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Most characters in this game are named after cars or motorcycles. Every boss group in each game of the series has at least 3 different themes about them. They'll have a design theme, a name theme, and a group theme. And as they said, the group theme in this one is the 7 Deadly Sins, combined with the 7 Samurai. And then
That's true, yeah. I forgot about that.
the design themes are the animals that are associated with each of the 7 Deadly Sins, and then their name themes is cars. And every boss group in this series has similar conventions, and it's always very fun to analyze them and figure them out.
Absolutely. One of the, like, in Gunvolt 3, you would actually notice that some of the bosses have relation to tarot cards, which is really cool. I still get the feeling, though, and I am a little disappointed that you didn't press Matt Pop on this one. I'm pretty sure X2's bosses were inspired by Mighty Number 9.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, well, Mighty Number 9 is infamous. We we had Matt Papa on stream. We don't want to distract from the game that we're playing with a game by one of the most notorious and controversial games in the last decade.
You know what? That's totally fair.
I'm gonna explain you.
And besides, yes, we know they're based on.
Mighty Number 9 is a really bad game to play casually, but in a really good game to watch in a speedrun. That's the only way you need to know that game.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
and take it from me, I'm a runner.
It's like X7. It's like X7. When you're watching a speedrun of X7, you think, okay, this game is not so bad that I remember, but when you play the game, it's like, okay, no.
See, case in point, you brought up Mighty Number 9, and now we're talking about Mighty Number 9 instead of what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
No, don't worry.
So this is Mike's favorite boss, Yota.
This boss fight is not a really important thing. I really want to talk in the next one. The next one is a really important and infamous part. But of course, this is Jota, and you remember him in Gunvolt 3.
That's
you
true.
have a lot of different RNG. This particular boss.
It's a massive reference to Gundam and Zone of the Enders, and I love him.
I was gonna say, Orbital Frame, you're welcome, Mike.
The most annoying part of this boss, you don't have like a 50-50 position. Or the RNG is good or it's bad.
I was saying,
That's the
Human
only
Orbital
bad
Frame,
point.
you're welcome. I still need to play that, by the way. Thank you, Games with Gold, for putting the collection for free, and I was able to download it.
Nice.
What, Zone of the Enders?
Oh yeah, the HD collection.
Oh, that's awesome. You get to play both of them then.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, moving on to the shortest late game stage of a Gunvolt game in any case. This is going to see us taking on a familiar face, a intro mid-boss, except amped up. And you see that laser right there? Yeah, there are multiple types of speedrun modes. If you're playing Kudos Keeper, be very careful of the...
This is the most annoying boss in the entire game.
Kudos Keeper is an alternative speedrun mode where you keep every single kudos that you earn throughout the entire game, and said kudos add a damage multiplier to all of your attacks. If you have come this far and get clipped by that guy, you lose all of your attack power and completely lose the run.
And sometimes, not sometimes. Usually this guy really points your laser in the worst possible part when you're playing Kudos mode.
Worst
and you
ever.
come and the only way to dodge that thing, if you're doing an ability to the bad jump, is using your healing skill. That's not really important. When you're using a skill, you're gonna lose your clues, but for some reason, when you're using a passive skill, like a buffer or healing, you're not gonna losing. If you're using that skill, you have 1 frame to do an extra jump and save yourself. So if you think that's crazy, it's like, okay, you're gonna suffer a lot. And this is the weather stage. Like
Mike mentioned
this
that
is
the media
Orphan
tower
Run.
was his favorite stage. I'd say this is probably my favorite stage.
This is one of my favorite stages in speedrunning too. The main reason is you have the weather. As you can see, this part you have wind, and this wind tells you if you're gonna be faster or slower when you're jumping. Right now, the wind is pointed to the left, so this is going to be slower if you try to jump. So right now, and of course, this stage in the speedrun mode or any category speedrun mode, you don't have kudos. So this is a really good way to watch the mobility of the game.
And now
Yeah,
we're
so
going on
this
to the
is the
second
most fun
section.
part.
Yeah, so Steve spent that
Second
entire
section.
section grounded, but now the wind is at our
Now
backs.
it's switching to the right, and right now, if you jump, you're gonna receive a crazy amount of speed all the time. And this is important to keep our momentum when we are using the flash field.
The flash field, it may not have been apparent at this point in the game, but the flash field allows Gunvolt to hover. It slows his descent. But additionally, when you're using the flash field while in the air, Gunvolt keeps his momentum. So if he did it from a normal jump, he'll move slowly. If he does it while sprinting, he'll hover quickly through the air. If you do that while also having the wind at your back, you cover some serious ground in a short time.
You betcha.
This stage also is infamous because you need to fight this mid-boss 3 times, and you don't really want to use a healing skill because you really want to use your Astrosphere 3 times. So when you're playing this stage without privation, you need to do a lot.
The stage is sort of
For example,
stage is sort of-
these missiles, you need to do a micro walk all the time. Because the missile only have a homing in your main position. If you're moving, the homing is not gonna be activated. So with a micro dashes or a micro walk, you can skip all the damage and beat all the boss with an overkill at the same time.
This stage is it's kind of like a fusion of the intro stages from the first 2 Mega Man Zero games. You have a largely sort of a straight line approach to a boss with differing wind directions, while at the same time you have the multiple instances of the same mini boss throughout the stage, with added spikes and pits as you progress. Much like the golems in the 0-2 intro. So you know they like to revisit and iterate on their old work.
And that's what I really appreciate. Because this game is just them taking their experience of Zero and ZX and making it their own. And just respect to that.
You know, it's really interesting to go through all of their catalog from 0-1 upwards and just observe all of the lessons they're learning as they develop each new game. It's very apparent.
One of these
And
days,
this game is largely the product of all the lessons they learned while producing Mega Man games.
one of these days, though, a very particular game that they did that I want to play is the Power Rangers Samurai for Wii game. I want to know how that played out.
I forgot they even did that.
But yeah, we're back to Merrick. We are officially within the boss rush,
Right
and
now the stage is transforming into the Wily Sigma whale stages.
Yeah, anybody who's played
all
a
the
Mega Man
stages,
games knows how this works. You beat your main bosses, and then you have a gauntlet of end game stages where you fight all the bosses again as you approach the fortress of the big bad.
Yeah, one of the most important things and the characteristic way to understand the Gunvolt games is sometimes you have a different way to
Easy
play
laser.
these kind of stages. For example, here you need to play one stage with one boss and then all the other bosses except for one. And then moving into the final boss, in Gunvolt 2 you have 2 stages and then the boss rush. Gunvolt 3, remember 2 stages, boss rush.
Again.
For example, for Luminous
Wow.
Avenger EX,
You just did it immediately again!
2 for 2.
Yeah,
Nobody
you have
does
the
that.
possibility. You have the possibility.
At least I managed to finish him on the floor. See, the game, you're noticing right now that to my sides, those are bottomless pits. Whenever the game puts you in a boss fight that has that going for the arena, what that essentially means is you can beat the boss, but you still have the potential to fall, so at least the game lets you reposition yourself on the floor before the boss explodes. So it's a little bit faster
that's fair. That's fair.
No, it's very fair.
Imagine you're beating the boss in the mid-air and you're in the falling part.
But the idea is that...
Alright, I win! I died! Oh no! Yeah, and then Merrick bring you and Lee say, "Hey, Gunvolt," and give you a check my hands.
I mean, hey, it's kind of like another boss from Gunvolt 2 in a way, but yeah.
That's the same thing happens when you beat one of the bosses in Level Elementary X2.
Oh yeah, true. Anyway, so
This is
we are
another one of the. This is another easy favorite. We're climbing a space elevator. Keep an eye on
Yeah, they love the space elevators.
That's the curvature of the Earth in the background. So, and they decided, well, elevators are boring, so what can we do? Oh yeah, let's put the boss rush in the elevator. Genius move, if you ask me.
Absolutely, and I'm a fan of Mega Man X8, so I can definitely tell this was something of a callback to the Jacob elevator, which I know they didn't work on that game, but it's still a really cool concept.
They're the ones who made the space elevators first.
2 for 2.
No, this
again.
is not the MS skip. This is not the MS skip.
Yeah.
Zero One has the first space elevator.
That's true.
The X series copied them.
It's true. Okay, yeah, fair point. All right, so Orochi Gun. You get that after you beat all of the Sumeragi swordsmen, and it has this little drone that, as you notice, does like a little spread fire. Unfortunately, though, Stratos just kind of jumped out of the way of that, so while it is easier to get the DM skip with that gun, it's not guaranteed. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, back to Jota.
That's one of the most important weapons of the game. As you can see on the top left part of the screen, you have a little circles in the part of the percentages, and that's important because that's the amount of clips you can use in any weapon. So the main weapons here are Cerberus with 3 clips, and Nawa with 5, and Orochi, the last one, with 8, I think. And of course, Orochi is the most important one because you really want to use to skip some part of the boss fights.
It's not something that we've really seen a huge amount of because, for the most part, we're skipping enemies and then fighting singular targets on bosses. But when you have multiple targets and some of the later, the bosses coming up, there will be up to 3 targets. You need to have be able to manage your tags properly in order to make sure you're doing the right amounts of damage.
Okay, so I didn't get the mash this time, but you saw it earlier. Basically, what looks like a hard move to skip is actually doable because you can just mash bullets into him, and it will stall him long enough. Wow!
Again,
wow!
You're getting hammered by the double DMs.
I think
That's like
this is the worst RNG possible.
That is the 3rd time that has happened to you in this run.
Okay, yeah, I can officially confirm this is definitely not going to PB.
This time is extremely, I don't know, questionable.
Well, you know what?
I have a lot of questions about this one.
I'm still having a lot of fun with this run despite its official meme status, but you know what? We are in the midst of this boss rush. I say let's open up the floor to any donations or announcements if we got any, so go ahead. Just give it a moment though, because Viper be Viper. Okay, we probably got none. It's okay. Just making sure.
Okay. Also, remember, you still have some incentives. You have the Day 6 Monster Hunter War, like drop the boulder or steal away. You have one more incentive when you need to unlock, like 100%. We still need $50 to the Cyber Channel of the any percent to 8%. And the final one, the Donkey Kong Country Color Beat World on Standard or Alternative.
Thanks, Ben.
So keep donation and help, of course, this great cause. And right now we're almost finished this boss fight.
There you go.
And
yeah,
again,
I just couldn't. I'm at really low health, and that's kind of bad in this situation because
no,
if I
you still have the skill.
I know. Hang on. I'll do it now. But if I were, I just really wanted to be careful here. If I die and I don't get Anthem,
No,
which
no,
is...
it's impossible. Level up. Level up.
Yep.
Wow,
you
the
may
game's
or may
actually
not have
looking at-
noticed there's a leveling system in this game, and every time you level up, your health is fully restored. What does leveling up do? Leveling up allows Gunvolt to learn new moves and skills at certain levels, and it also increases his maximum health.
I didn't mean to do that, but okay. I turned an accidental
Well,
pause
and,
into a
it
function.
is-
And now you have the whole justification
Oh,
for
wait,
the
you know
boss
what?
rush. There
You
was
know what?
3
This is very
Elises.
important. Yeah, this is 3 Elises, and this is the most difficult boss fight to optimize. Orochi have the problem with the drones, like you can throw more attacks than you need. Of course, you can change the color of the attack. And if you miss that, you're gonna have a really, really bad time. It's important to have it all the time, 3 attacks in both of them. To kill her without any trouble. Ooh.
Okay, it's okay. I'll still have a little
No,
bit
no,
of
no,
health.
don't worry. You still have a lot of HP.
Yeah. I wasn't worried there, but if it was, if I took a
Maybe
little more
One
damage,
more
that...
tag? Yeah, one more tag.
Now,
Please
there
don't
will be
do that
one
again.
There's going to be one mandatory resurrection.
And the
Because,
reason for that is she's completely invincible, the third one, so...
Yeah. She doesn't have a life
Yeah.
bar. She is, she's a hazard. She sits in the middle throwing things at you, and there's nothing you can do about it except dodge. So there is one forced resurrection always. And
I do want to give a very big shout out though to the fact that this boss is probably based on one of my favorite Mega Man ZX Advent bosses.
No, you're still fine. You're still fine.
I know, Argoyle and Ugoyle.
Nice.
Where the two of them, it was 2 bosses at a time. They didn't have the resurrection gimmick going, but they were like same concept. They go from section to section, pole to pole. It's just a really cool reference. Thank you for that, NT.
Right.
It's
This is the
2
true
bosses.
Coven. The true form of Coven goes without the hood.
Exactly. You
I-
gotta
no,
show
no,
your
no, no,
hair.
Without the hat, it's like okay, you're gonna face me, but right now with my full power.
it's 2 ZX Advent bosses mashed together. By the way, it's Argoyle and Ugoyle plus Rose Spark.
Ah, that's true. I almost forgot Rose Spark. Okay, that's
They're the
Viper's
ones that-
move. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's fast. It's just fast to have, and I would have done that as the second stage. But you know, that's what the next run is always for. But yeah. Anyway, Copen will have a DM move, which is based off of Zonda's power, and that will be showing up in a bit. I'm just gonna set up for that. But other than that, oh no, yeah. Okay, hang on. Get out. Whew. Okay, just gotta dodge bullets. Yeah, that was a lot more clutch than it could have ever been. And here we go.
Oh, okay, okay, I was a little bit scared in that part.
It's fine. It's incredible. There we go. It's fine.
I was just going beast mode. Oh, okay, well that happened. But hey, that's fine. It's not dead. There we go.
Okay, that's nice.
All right.
And right now it's the last stage of the game. We're gonna play with the true
This is any
good
percent.
final boss.
This is any percent. So this is. It's a bit like it's a lot like the like some of like Symphony of the Night and a bunch of the other Castlevania games. There's a bad ending and a good ending that that becomes available after it. So we are going to be just doing the bad ending for any percent. So
How the good ending would have worked is you needed to collect jewels that you might have seen as I was passing by them. You gotta
Chuckles,
collect...
you mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Okay, yeah, true. What's next? Sonic the Hedgehog ball jumps?
No, we can already wall jump. Keep up.
I mean, he's blue.
I said
Yeah,
ball
blue
jump,
glow.
but wall
I know.
jumping is all... Yeah, true, wall jumping is standard. Alright, let's see if I get the good stuff.
By
J-pop
the
or
way,
no?
the way to block the true ending is different
No J-pop.
in any category. I mean, for example, in speedrun mode is always the true ending. In any percent PC, you need to beat the game twice. One time to just beat the boss and have the signal to obtain the necklace. In a Switch version, for some reason, you can obtain the necklace when you start the game, so you can immediately go to true ending. And for car mode, it's the same.
Actually, you can get the broken necklace in the PC version. I have seen it.
No, you can?
Yes.
Or you can?
No, you can. I have seen it.
Alright.
It is in my inventory technically.
All right. This is Nova. This is the overall antagonist of the game. He has stolen your
This is a
girlfriend's...
really good final boss fight.
Yeah, it's a great fight.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that his phase 1,
That's-
as you're going to
You
see,
need to learn about this, man.
there's a lot of moves. It's simple moveset to learn, but it's really cool. It's got a unique concept. You're seeing Lumen being used against us. I have to zap her in order to put down his force field. If I hit it while it's active, it will try to use these little homing needles on me. The interesting thing about Nova Phase 1, though, is he will not stun when you take down his health. He'll just keep going, no problem. All right, let's see what happens here. He'll probably just, yep, Mind Melder or Psycho Fusion. It is worth noting that I am running the game on English without voice acting, which is technically the original script and is kind of sort of faster because load times.
He's a Gundam now.
Yeah, he's a Gundam. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a Gundam.
Shout out to the Witch from Mercury, by the way. I hear nothing but great things about that.
It's the part when
So-
okay, it's good to Kawarochi.
All right. So the way, in order to do any damage, that core has a force field around it. In order to do any damage to him whatsoever, we have to tag both of the two drones on the left and right. That takes the force field down, and that allows us to tag and shock the core. And we have to just maintain that as much as possible.
By the way, time will be when this guy's HP hits 0, so let's get ready on that.
And of course, one important part of this boss for some reason have extra defense, but only works against our skills. If we are using the tag ability like we're using right now, that extra defense never exists. But for example, if Tempest really want to use Astrosphere, the boss for some reason is gonna win.
So here,
extra.
what happens now? He is dropping a meteor on you, and
he's using that.
You can see it sinking. You can see it sinking from the top of the screen. If it manages to get low enough and cover his the core in his chest, the fight becomes unwinnable. because
And
you die
time!
The moment you touch it. Time.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna
It's
just
a
keep going, by the way.
54, not bad.
Yeah, definitely no problem. I'm gonna just quickly skip through the credits, though, because I do want to see what my IGT time was. Again, no PB, but, you know, I just can't help it. Curiosity's sake. What a run, though,
Sure, It
wow.
seemed like it could have been
Tempest
really close.
really want to do this really fast because for some reason Integrate tell the game, you know what? You're still watching the credits. The in-game time is gonna be working.
You can at
So
least
you
hold
really need
Eleanor
to go
to speed it up.
faster. Yeah, you need to go faster and start your game like matching.
Who wants to skip the credits? Yo, you just go faster. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Whew, well,
This is the most relaxing ending. You have a butterfly.
yeah,
And a
one of the
god
most
music.
common themologies of Gunvolt, honestly. It's a shame that yet Trials mode in your run doesn't show the intro stage, because then we would have seen even more butterfly on that boss. But, you know.
The only good part
5725.
is- Okay, it's fine.
Not bad.
Yeah.
The only good part is when Integrate create Luminous Avenger X, they fix that part so the in-game time is not running in the credits.
Oh, yeah,
That
wow.
only work
It
of
took
course
them
in,
until
in
that
Lex 1,
long,
Lex 2, and Gumball 3.
Well,
But if you play
hey,
Gumball 1 and Gumball 2, you have that problem.
that was still a pretty fun run to do, and I'm glad I got to show this game off. I always enjoy getting to show this game off, and I'm pretty sure that was definitely underestimate. All things considered, this run could have been better, but hey, a lot of stuff to keep in mind for next time. I had no idea about the Merrick despawn, but you know
Neither
what?
did I. That was hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff. I'm definitely gonna have to look
That
back
run
on
was a
this.
ton of fun for us to watch, too.
Thank you,
Just as
Green.
exciting as the last one. Fast
Heck
paced
yeah.
and just so much happening all of the time. Thank
Well-
you so much, Tempest, for that run.
Absolutely. If you guys would like to follow me, I am TempestMask1000 here on Twitch and my YouTube. I don't have a static streaming schedule though, so if you want to follow my Twitter at @It'sTempestSteve, that's where I will try to post updates whenever I do plan on it. If you want to follow Benha, please do. Super cool runner. Mike is a cool dude too. Thank you guys for joining me. Always a pleasure to have you on, even with the
Thank you
shenanigans
very,
that
very much
ensue.
for the commentary. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
no
right,
problem.
we're gonna
One
move
last
right
part
along.
is-
But first, I of course need to sneak in that we got a $20 donation from One Free
Ooh.
Fits during that run.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
And they say I've been loving all the runs, and I'm super excited to run Chrono Trigger Jets of Time in a couple of hours. Let's get a donation train going.
Heck
Hey,
yeah.
$20,
pretty
it was all
cool,
worth
guys.
Good luck on your run,
All right,
man.
we're gonna move right
luck
along.
with the rest
Thank you
of the event, guys.
so
Thanks,
much
guys.
for that run again, guys. Next up, we have a Oh no, we got Jacob Does a Thing running Mega Man 8.
Let's go,
All right,
Jacob!
folks, don't go anywhere. Stick around.